Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot. Now, I know I said I wouldn't be doing any more readings this month, but I have a few spare hours, so hopefully I'll be able to do all 12 for the Lunar Galactic download for this month. The moon will be passing across 16, 17 degrees Sagittarius on the 22nd, which also happens to be the fall equinox. So when I saw that, I thought, oh no, I can't miss that one. Now, the equinox, as you probably know, fall equinox, autumnal equinox, equal hours of light and dark, seeking a point of balance. Interesting, since it is also the point of going into Libra, the scales. Well, that's probably where the symbolism came from in the first place. Now, listening to the various astrologies, Chris Witecki on his Namaste Today, shared on my Facebook page, link down below, of course, talks about the sun ingress into Libra, about coming into a new relationship with ourselves, whereas Astrology with Heather also said seeking to come into balance. Not necessarily finding that balance. I mean, hey, have you seen the world? But seeking to come into that balance, making the effort to move towards it. Now, this is also the Feast of Mabon, which, although people talk about the Wheel of the Year being an old thing, which it is, Mabon's recognition only seems to derive from the 1970s onwards. But anyway, he was a child of the light and son of Mother Earth, I think, if I remember correctly. I did print some notes out, but they're over there. Now, this is a time for reaping, for the second harvest, the fruit harvest, and a time for review for everything that you started putting into action in the spring equinox and in the early side of the year. Well, it's also a good point about the fall equinox is Jupiter has just changed to go direct, so it's signifying a good change in in consciousness and confidence, maybe, but a good change in consciousness. All in all, pretty good omens, pretty good symbols. Now, considering that with the Mars-Saturn square, Mars-Pluto square, Mars-Jupiter square, Mercury, T-square, Mars and Saturn, that doesn't figure, does it? But it's Mercury's coming into T-square of something or other, and I'm sure Mars and Saturn are involved there, but maybe Saturn must be T-squaring. But anyway, moving on. Watch the Astrology with Heather video for more details on that. Again, link down below on my Facebook page, link down below. But I want to look at the symbol for 0 degrees Libra. Now, the Chandra symbol is, and not at all stereotypical, a group of fat Italian ladies preparing bread. Now, it says this is an archetypal, universal and diffuse allegiances, activities and realms of experience, becoming camouflaged perfectly by adopting a persona that is wondrously engaging and easy connected with. So that does indicate an energy to put people at ease and to start rebuilding relationships if they've been destroyed. However, the interpretation goes on, putting it on a bit heavy, thick grease paint. You exult in getting away with seeming to be the world's most anonymous person. The disguise can stick to the face. Overt consciousness awash in mass identification. At times you are able to penetrate through and find open possibilities, but you are primarily engrossed in the outer and alive to the advertised sensations of what it is like to be popular, well received and simply welcome wherever you go as part of the mix, and no problem at all. So, bit double-edged. Well, to me, I think that's a little bit double-edged about that whole subsuming yourself in mass identification. But if you're trying to smooth over any divisions, then that's quite useful. Now, the Omega symbol, which I really like a lot more, is an apothecary shop in which herbal concoctions and other medicines appear as needed. So this is talking about desire and need combined with pure intent, creating their own fulfillment spontaneously. And the oracle of this degree, which explores it more, where is it? So, and I love this little story, an alchemist invented an apothecary shop which mirrored completely the realm of disease. Anyone who entered it immediately reflected their essence onto the mind of the shop, which then generated the herbs and compounds as an echoing of felt needs. The shop held all of the answers and solutions that one could ever desire. Now, what was curious was how few people came to the shop. And of those few who came and took home the medicines, how many of the medicines were placed on a shelf somewhere and forgotten about? So the shop, always desirous of improving the potency and efficacy of its products, began focusing on other medications such as songs, weather and memory clusters, which is harvested out of people and distilled into custom-made homeopathic essences. Illusions, properly selected and harvested, were also found to be highly salutary. Well, salutary I would have thought meant to say hello, but I assume that means some form of healing. That sounds perfect and a little bit double-edged. Hopefully it is reflecting your actual need and not what you think your needs are, because let's face it, we're all on this, if you're on that self-exploratory trip, we're all well aware of the difference between the two. So, to the cards, this is going to be a general reading for your star sign. This is a bulk introduction, as ever. There will be a timestamp down below, so once you've seen the introduction once, you don't have to watch it again. And I advise that you look at your sun, your moon, and your rising signs. Particularly, I would say, on this one, your moon, since we are talking about seeking balance, and the first place to seek balance is within your feelings, because if you don't get the balance there, you're not going to get the balance anywhere else. So as a general reading rules apply. You know the script here, you know, roles can be reversed if someone else appears. It's an oracle card driven reading, so you can ask a question beforehand. I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to give you an answer in any form that can relate to the question, but we're looking at the energies coming in. This is the model, and some astrologer friends of mine have contested this, but basically this is tarot, not astrology. But looking at what energies coming from galactic center are filtered by the moon and how they can affect us this season, especially with it being fall equinox. Especially with Jupiter just going direct. There is quite a challenging month ahead for us astrologically, but it looks like the fall equinox energies can really give us a springboard to hurtle through it and take advantage of the challenges that come to us, rather than just going, no, 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 no more, no more. Although, if you find yourself huddling in a corner rocking and saying no more 2020 please, I don't blame you. Won't get a lot done, but I don't blame you. But try not to do that, because hey ho, we have got to make it to the end of the year somehow, you know. Even if my favourite election bumper sticker so far is Giant Asteroid 2020. So yeah, comment down below. Like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Join the Facebook page, because if you're a Facebook person, you know, social dilemma notwithstanding, because I don't just post my videos, I post videos from the astrologers, the various, you know, astrology weather reports, Achita Bava, Astrology with Heather, Ksenia Moore, astrology podcast. Now there's always a good investment. It's normally about 2.5 hours long. Rick Levine, Astrology Hub. Can't think of any more right now, but I know that there's oodles more that I watch, but I want to get on with the cards. So let's bring them up. Well, Virgo, the message is coming through loud and clear for you here. And hello, Virgo rising and Virgo moon, if you've just joined us after the timestamp. Now, as you can see the cards on the screen now, I'm just going to change cameras. I'll come back to that probably. But as you've probably seen by the title of the video, because I already know what I'm going to call this, Vive la Revolution. Let me try saying that again. Vive la Revolution. Because you are leading the revolution. You are creating change. Full stop. That's it. Creating change. Creating change, what is good for you and what is good for others. We have, firstly, all the change cards. I mean, I'll do the tarot in a second, but we have expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. We have new beginnings from the quantum oracle, but also the whole, I love the, now I'm not a baby person. Anybody who knows me, I'm not really a children or baby person, but look at the little purity and just glow from that baby there. And it's almost like, here's an old soul in a completely new body. I'm not feeling like a Jesus coming through, but I am feeling like an Apollo or an Achilles or a Perseus coming to have a go at being incarnate, or in Achilles and Perseus's case, have another go at being incarnate. There's that idea of something beautiful coming in from, well, from spirit, really, as you know, however you want to put it. We have the Shekinah, the sacred self, the feminine side of the God force, or rather the feminine side of the Holy Spirit, the feminine side of God that makes us remember that it's not all men. And I don't mean hashtag not all men there either. It's it's another identity of the Shekinah would be the Sophia, the Pistis Sophia, or the Sophia of Christos. So Sophia created this world. In the Gnostic Gospels, maybe she didn't create the world, but she created the sort of the need for life on the world when she created her son inadvertently. But again, it's like the fall of Lucifer. It was apparently not part of the divine plan, but how can there be anything that isn't part of the divine plan? I say squeaking. We've got forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. The fact is that if you're following a well-trodden path, then you're not forging your own path, are you? And didn't you come down here to change things? And then you're not alone. Now, I'm going to read from this one, because this is really interesting, because one way I can interpret this card is watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Where have I put the book? But basically, it's about how starseeds and, you know, advanced people like to spend time on their own. Yep, I can see that. But we've got to remember that we are here to live a human life, and we are here to interact with, to have contact with other human beings. And this one paragraph really grabbed me. In our increasingly online world, we can be connected to more people than ever, and yet feel more alone and isolated than ever. There's still so much we don't know about the energetic side effects of things like social media, with so many people knowing our news. What is it doing to our auric field? That's a really interesting point. I mean, there's certain aspects of online lifestyle that I had thought, how does that affect the aura? But I hadn't thought the question phrased in that precise way. But yeah, there's so if anyone tells me that Facebook is good for the soul, I will show you someone who obviously has not been on Facebook in the past 10 years. So there is, you are being called to reach out and connect in the real world with somebody, or to connect genuinely with somebody. You know, that's not to say that all online connections are without merit, but they have to be genuine connections and not just facile friends and likes. And yes, there's a massive fly that's come in that's decided to join me for the readings all day. In between the readings, it's quiet. It's obviously just sitting down. The minute I start reading, that's it. It's buzzing around me. So we have a friend here. So yes, you're being called to expect powerful change, to receive feminine energy, a powerful change, but also to be heralding, Gabriel here, that powerful change, and also to be designing it. Forge, don't follow, with the focus card from the Wisdom of the House of Night Oracle. So that focus card is, it's not like you don't know what needs to, oh, that's nice. What needs to change, what you need to do. It's just you might not be able to see how you need to do it because you are forging your own path. Someone hasn't cut through the undergrowth in advance of you. We have Bina, the left eye of the Tree of Life, the Sephiroth of Knowledge, being clarified here by the star, wisdom from... Oh, this is a well woo-woo reading. Yeah, well, it's another one of the... No, was it Virgo last time? It was... Have a look at... Virgo, you're Earth, aren't you? So, have a look at the Earth reading for the new moon that's just gone. Because, basically, it's you. You know, it's... this is the message. This is another one of those life purpose type readings. Now, before I did have one person comment who thought I was talking about life purpose quite glibly, and I've written my comment underneath my response, but we have more than one life purpose. I saw a beautiful meme a few days later on Facebook for everything that I was just saying, where someone goes up to the pearly gates or wherever and they're saying, what is my life purpose? And the angel responds, well, what if you've already done it? What if your life purpose was talking to that child a week last Tuesday, or lending somebody a fiver 3 years ago? What if your life purpose is the interactions that you have had with people, and your life purpose, I've got to do this or be that or create this? That's just ego. Yeah, because this is what Angel Soul's weekly message for last week was about. Again, posted on my Facebook page, link down below. And it was fascinating. This theme seems to be going. Now, for you right now, there seems to be connection, but there is this sense of something that you are doing, something that you have the vision to focus upon. It's not like you're short of options, but you are not, as it says here, or it says somewhere here, sorry, you're not alone in this either. What is really interesting, right, you will be gaining recognition once you step forward. The powerful change, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It's coming to you and you have to receive it, but it is also, part of that change is being activated by you. Activated by you trying to take control. And it will be slow progress, but it's slow progress. Basically, the underlying reason for you doing this is how to look after yourself. But it encompasses so much more than just you looking after yourself. But in that process, you have to know that it's practical and that you are not alone, but you are announcing this to the world, where you will be left in peace to create what you need to create, but not left in peace as in left all on your own, because no, you're way showing. And with the Oracle of Heaven and Hell card being clarified by the Three of Pentacles, where you're gaining recognition. So we have from the Shem HaMephorash, Nithael, representing, astrologically, rejuvenation. But beneath that, murmur, overthrow of authority. Now, I'm feeling both. It is like you are, by taking control yourself, Emperor card here, and receiving what comes through to you, are overthrowing something that already had the authority over you, and you're saying, yep, no more. And you are announcing that to the world, where you are getting recognized by it, creating a whole new beginning where you will be victorious. But you will be victorious by you having the focus, knowing what you need to do, knowing that, yes, one of the reasons that you're doing it is to look after yourself, but that is not the only reason, that is not the premier reason, apart from in modern day esoteric philosophy. Of course, that's the premier reason, but it's, you are creating this process from the right. I've got to phrase this carefully because I don't mean this badly, but you have to use your ego when you are incarnate down here, basically to be able to put one foot in front of the other and do more complicated things like eating and breathing. All of that utilizes your ego. So this system, whatever you are trying to bring into the 3D world, if you're trying to bring something into the 3D world, your ego will be one of the tools that you are using to bring that into being. And part of that will be useful because you are rebelling against something. You are saying no, no more. So when I say you are using your ego, that's fine. On the here, it's not that you're disappearing up your own backside with, I am the all-powerful, I am going to bring the complete change, I am the next Jeremy Corbyn, Donald Trump, Boris Johnson, Martin Luther King or Gandhi. No, not that sort of self-aggrandizement, but just the, no, I'm taking control of that because you're not having that control over me. And I'm going to show other people how you can also not have that control over them. So there's one way you are going to be received by your peers. You're going to have to defend what you're doing, but hey, quelle surprise. You know, there's... but it seems really, really practical with this King of Pentacles here. So yes, this is a life purpose thing. However, it's not your only one. You know, you've had other life purposes. You probably had a different life purpose last year, and you will have a new life purpose this year. But here is an opportunity for you to to tick something off the list of what you came here to do. And I will not compromise on that interpretation of this at all. Because it's also... you're not the only one doing it. Remember, you are reaching out to other people. So I feel like, and with the Seven of Wands, that is often, maybe not so much in this deck, but in other decks that I have, I see that as a getting together with your peers. And that you are turning up, maybe a little nervous, but you are meeting people with the same amount of skill of you, going, look at my wand, it's as big and strong as yours. And you're nervous about this because you're not sure that they're going to take it that way. But you more often than not find that they go, yep, your one's as good as ours. Come in, come and join us. We could use your help. You know, that being greeted by your peers. And especially with this two cards that came out of the Making Magic deck. Trinker 5, manifesting money and income. So, hey, money and income is always a good thing, especially with the economy tanking anywhere in the world, as it is at the moment. But 5 is the number of man, 5 is the number of challenge, 5 is the number of magic. And then underneath that, happy love, a joyful, stable partnership and good friends, where you're reaching out to people, you're meeting with the peers. So, right on, comrade, you know, but this, I mean, this might not be anywhere near as competitive as what I think. It could be that you start setting up a new business that takes over a public service in some way, or takes over the role of where somebody else is failing at looking after this public service. Your business succeeds at looking after this public service. In a way, that's stretching it a bit for me. I want to stick in the woo-woo territory, but do you know what I mean? That's how it could manifest. That is a really... These Lunar Galactic download, we're halfway through. You're sign number 6, aren't you? These galactic reading... Lunar Galactic download readings are actually turning out really positive, really cheerful. It's really nice to see. Apart from Leo, they've got a bit of stuff to deal with, but they'll be all right at the end of it. But yeah, there's a lot of change that you can actually effect here. You can really effect change around you, but only by linking with others. But you really get a victory out of it. So celebration and commitment on the bottom of the deck. 4 of Wands. So there's not much more that I can say there, Virgo. So comment down below if this means anything to you. If it doesn't mean anything to you, go out into the world and make it mean something to you. Start working for that change that you want to see, because it's about time. Right? Yeah, that's it. See you in monthlies. Cheers.